Welcome friends. In this session we are going to look into a new chapter called decision theory. So let's start. So in this lecture we are going to study about some of the introductory parts of decision theory, then some of the elements which are used in decision making, some key terminology, then types of decisions in decision making environment, and then we will see some of the steps in decision making. So let's start. What is in what is decision making process? If you see you are given some problem, you have two options, right? You can solve this problem with the help of quantitative analysis or qualitative analysis. Now quantitative is whenever you can convert that problem into some numbers or numerical values, and once you change them or you can convert them into numerical values, assign some numbers, you can apply logic, research methods, scientific methods and models to that. But imagine that if you have qualitative factors like emotions, intuitions, experiences, then you can also do the qualitative analysis. Based on these two analysis, you arrive at the decisions. You might have multiple decisions, right? Now, which is the suitable decision? In this process, in this decision theory, you will learn that which decision to get, or you can say to take, so that the company or a individual person can get benefit. So let's look into it. So what is the method, or you can say the theory? It is analytic or the systematic approach to study decision making. The theory is focusing on the analytical and systematic approach. Now what are the good decisions are there? The good ones are based on logic, right? Bad ones are not. Now good decisions, they consider all the data, all the situations available. Same with bad decisions, they do not consider all the data and alternatives. Similarly, good decisions also use the quantitative approach. Remember this. Means numerical values also. They focus on numerical values and get the answers. And bad decisions, they do not focus on that. Clear? Sometimes it happens that good decisions, they also get the bad outcome, or you can say unexpected outcome. But still, if it is made properly, right? Again, if you are lucky in the bad decisions, you will get the good outcome. But that is not the case all the time. Now, where do you apply this theory? You can apply in capacity planning. If it's an industry, it's applied in capacity planning, where you want to expand the product range, right? In service design, you can also expand the locations, right? If you want to plan for the locations of the factory or equipment selections, or there are multiple decision criteria and you want to look into the beneficial one, then you can apply decision theory. Now, what is the method? It is the integral part of management, planning, organizing, controlling, and motivation process. It is an integral part. See, it is OR is also known as decision science in some way, or management science. So, decision theory. See, recent trending words like machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, they all have decision theories in their curriculum. So, it is an important theory, or you can say the topic in this curriculum. So again, it also has the integral part of management, right? Why? Because it will help in deciding the strategy which is beneficial, which look into the criteria. Let's say for example utility, sales, cost. It will focus on these problems, right? And it will find out the optimal solution. What are the elements? Let's look into it. First is the goals. So what are the goals? What are the outcomes? Which are the objectives? Whatever the decision makers he or she wants to achieve with the help of the course of action. That is nothing but goals. Now, who is the decision maker? It's individual. It can be an individual, personal, a person, or an organization entity. Now, what are the courses of actions? The choices or the alternatives under the control of decision maker. Whatever choices he has, what are the action he will be doing, right? that are the courses of actions. Now, state of nature. Remember this thing. You have for the future events, you have exhaustive list. The whole list is given. But again, decision maker does not have the direct control on this states of nature. Here, remember this, that it is the list of future events. Now, what is the preference or value system? It is the criteria where the decision maker is making a choice for the best course of action. Means whatever the optimal strategy is for him, he or she is going to choose that game or strategy. Now, what is the payoff? That is the expected outcome, or you can see the effectiveness of this course of action against the whatever state of nature is that, which is nothing but you can say profits as well or conditional values. What is the opportunity loss table? Means let's say for example, if you are failing and whatever losses you are getting, you put it down in the table based on the strategy, right? For each state of nature you will write down. That is nothing but opportunity loss table. Now, what are the 6 steps involved in decision making? We will see one by one. The first is you will define the problem in hand. Whatever the problem is there, you will define the goals, states of natures, clear? The strategies you will define beforehand. Then you will find out all the alternatives. Whatever the alternatives are there in the decision making process, the courses of actions which are involved, you will list down all of them. Right. Now you will also identify the possible outcomes or state of natures. After defining the problem and alternatives, you will find out the possible outcomes. Whatever the outcomes are there based on the states of nature, you will find out the outcomes. Now with the help of these outcomes and state of natures, you will find the payoff, which is nothing but expected payoff. Clear? With the combination of alternatives and outcomes, you will get the payoff matrix. Now, whatever you will select any one mathematical, there are multiple decision theory models are there. You will select any one of them and you will apply this model into this matrix, or you can say the given alternatives of decision making. And what you will get, you will apply the model and make your decisions accordingly, which is suitable for the organizations or if it is a person, then it is for the personal benefits, and if it's for the organizations, they can make the decision accordingly. So these are the major 6 steps for decision making. Now, what are the types of decision making? Based on the environment. Means this we already discussed in the game theory, if you remember, that it can be made under certainty. You know that the decision alternative, the outcome is known. Here if you see, the outcome of the decision is known. You know beforehand, and there is only one possible state of nature. Okay, that is you are certain. Clear? What about under risk? So there is a risk factor involved here. It is not known. Right? You are probable that certain things will happen, but there is only probability. It is not known for sure. Then it is decision made under risk. But what about uncertainty? And uncertainty, the decision making outcome is not known, and even the probability is also not known. Means literally similar to once you are in a black room, right? And if you don't have eyes, or you can say you cannot see into that room, literally you have no alternatives, or even the probability is not known. So that is nothing but you have to decide accordingly. So these are the 3 decision making scenarios based on the environment: under certainty, under risk, and under uncertainty. What about the types of another type is strategic decisions. What do you mean by this? Means it is concerned with the external environment. Whatever the strategies the company or the organizations is employing based on the competition it is facing, right? Those are strategic decisions. Now, what about the administrative decisions? It is used in structuring the organizational resources so as to optimize the performance of organization. Means What do you mean by this? Means organizational structure. You have to always optimize it, right? So that it can perform very well. So whatever decisions you are taking, that is nothing but administrative decisions. What about the operating decisions? Operating for the day-to-day operations you have in the company within the let's say for example, what are the operations we already discussed at the previous lectures? That pricing, scheduling, routing, inventory stocking, all these day-to-day operations we will try to decide some scenarios, right? So all this decision making is nothing but operating decisions. So what are the core different classifications of decision making? Based on the environment, you have decision making under certainty, secondly uncertainty, and then risk. And here, based on the scenarios, like you have strategic decisions, administrative decision, and operating decisions. So in this way we have concluded this chapter, uh, sorry, this topic. But in this next topic we are going to look more in detail into decisions under uncertainty, right? So what is decisions under uncertainty? In uncertainty you do not know the probability of the outcomes or the states of nature of the outcome. Clear? Means decision maker doesn't know what will happen if he is going to decide about certain choices he is going to make. So based on whatever choices he is going to make, he does not know the outcome, and the probability is also not known. So what will happen is we will look into the different models. There are 4 to 5 models uh, which are there to solve this kind of problems for decisions under uncertainty. We will look into detail one by one each and every problem, and there are certain methodologies and algorithms involved in these methods, like minimax problem, maximin, all of these methods, right? Laplace criterion is there, Hurwitz, maximax, right, problem is there, Hurwitz problem is there, Laplace problem is there. All of these models are there. We will apply one by one, and so that we can get the optimal decision making criteria for the decision maker, so that the decision maker can decide accordingly with the decisions under uncertainty. So thank you very much.